You're watching the only local news at 5:30. Fox 4 News starts now.
Good evening, I'm Steve Eager. First on Fox 4 News at 5:30 tonight. The deputy chief who was in charge of a large fire where a veteran Dallas firefighter died has been temporarily reassigned. His name is Bobby Ross, and he was the scene commander at a 6-alarm condo fire a year ago. There's been a lot of talk about this case because 2 different reports showed a failure in leadership and communication. But Fire Chief Louis Bright said those failures would not lead to any disciplinary action. Today, for the first time, the chief answered questions about his decision, and he answered them from Fox 4's Sean Rand.
We knew that whatever decision was made, there were going to be some not happy with it.
The 6-alarm fire that raced through the Hearthwood North condos on Abrams last year claimed the life of veteran firefighter Stanley Wilson. No one was disciplined.
At the end of the day, do you look at discipline versus should we make our processes better?
For the first time, Fire Rescue Chief Louis Bright answering questions about the tactical errors and miscommunication both local and state investigative reports say directly led to Wilson's death.
After looking at all the information and reading all the quotes and statements and so forth from the investigation, we just made the determination that that making our processes better was the route to go.
So are you saying there was no one person who you could lay responsibility at the feet of, and that the mistakes that were made were shared by more than one person?
And there are multiple pieces involved, if you will, multiple people with decision-making responsibilities, and we felt that responsibility was shared.
The reports reveal confusion at the fire scene. Several firefighters allege Deputy Chief Bobby Ross ordered Wilson and others back into the burning building hours after the fire started to look for anyone trapped inside. Others say that did not happen.
Can you speak to the confusion that seemingly took place?
I think that's partly where I talk about our communications have to be much more effective. When you're on a fire ground with close to 200 people on scene, orders, directions, statements, conversations have to be crystal clear. And there were conflicting statements given in terms of what orders were given.
Bright stands by his decision that training serves a better purpose than discipline in this incident.
Very difficult because there are various feelings about this whole situation. You know, we all love Mr. Wilson as well as we love all of our firefighters. But again, I have to take a global view of it and determine the decision I make and what impact that will have, again, not just today, but moving forward.
Now, are you confident that your deputy chiefs and captains who were at that scene still have the ability and leadership and respect to command the troops on the ground at another incident?
I'm absolutely confident. Everybody at that scene had commanded many fires, many incidents. Certainly any one thing could happen at an incident that could really turn the tide on you, if you will. Does that make you not an effective commander? I don't believe that, or there's some things we all can sharpen up on, of course. And that's where we're moving from here to make that happen.
And Steve, Chief Bright says that the so-called chief officers, those are the people who manage resources at an incident, needed, in his words, significant training. He says that has already happened, and he says a committee is now gathered to review all the recommendations that came out of those 2 reports, deciding, Steve, what training will take place for the rest of the department starting in January. We reached out to the attorney for Stanley Wilson's family today. He said he wanted to wait to comment till he saw what Chief Bright had to say.
All right. I've been talking with firefighters. They're not here, so people can hold that against them if they want. They're not speaking out. They're staying quiet for now. But let me represent their views. The chief asks, can one poorly handled incident make you an ineffective commander? If the firefighters that the commander commands saying he's the one that ordered them in and is now denying he did it, that makes you an ineffective commander, doesn't it?
Well, the chief is of the opinion that one time does not mean you're ineffective to lead the next time.
These firefighters I've talked to are talking about a no confidence vote. I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know how powerful the fire union is as opposed to some of the police unions we talk about. But another thing they point out is the chief on the first press conference day, he said, our firefighters are given the authority to weigh the risk of any order given, which sounds like he is saying firefighters can refuse an order. Firefighters on the ground sure don't feel like they can.
And he said that again today. That did not make our air today for this story, but he did say that again today, that the decisions are being made on the fly and that the situation should constantly be reassessed. And if you feel there's a problem, you should go to a commander, go to a chief, and say something. Now, we did call...
It's a tough spot for somebody to go to deputy chief and saying, no, I'm not going. I'm not going in. No matter what you say, I'm not going in.
We did call the Firefighters Association today, left messages for Doug Dickerson, the president of the Firefighters Association. We did not hear back from him today.
All right. Great interview. Good to hear what the chief had to say, Sean. Thanks.
Okay, thank you.